You look at the NFC West, Skip. The last place team is the 49ers. They got 4 wins. There's a great possibility they're going to get 3 teams out of that division. Well, that's it. You still got New Orleans. You still got Tampa in the NFC South. You got those 3 teams. You got 3 teams in the NFC West. You got Green Bay in the NFC North, and you got and unfortunately, Skip, somebody got to go from the NFC East. I don't see it, Skip. Nick Foles, Skip, we have not seen Nick Foles lead a team for the entirety of the season since what? His first year, maybe his second year in the league. That was the last time, Skip. He can get hot for a game or 2. He had the greatest 2 games, the championship game and the Super Bowl. He was in the NFC Championship game. He was 352 yards, 3 touchdowns against Minnesota, and then he did a little better. He went 373, 3 touchdowns against New England. But if you go back and look at the first game, Skip, he easily could have lost that divisional game to Atlanta. The Bears in the tight. I don't see it, Skip. Skip, look at these throws. Skip, he had Jalen Ramsey beat twice. And even if you say, well, Skip, if he could have just held up held the ball a tick longer. But what about the last one? The dude runs an out and up. He's wide open and he throws the ball out of bounds. Skip, that's inexcusable. Pressure. Ain't no pressure. What no pressure on it? What no pressure on it? He imagined. He saw ghosts that weren't there this time. He got scared one time. He's like, oh, if I go in this door again, they go in this room again, there might be another ghost. No, Skip. Even if you gotta make those throws, Skip, because it's so hard. And that was really the only chances that they had. They got 2 goals. When a team make a mistake, this is the way you always approach it, Skip. Mike used to tell us this all the time, and even when a team makes a mistake, because if you make a mistake and miss an assignment, they hit your quarterback in the back, he gonna fumble the ball. If they make a mistake, they blow a coverage, or a guy gets beat, you got to make them pay the ultimate price with a touchdown. You got to make Jalen Ramsey pay for making those mistakes, for thinking he's going to get a quick pick, and he didn't make them pay. Skip, it is so hard for them to generate. Skip, they got Cordell Patterson in the backfield, 84, a wide receiver toting the pig. Yep. That just goes to show you the offensive line isn't very good. And the problems that they have, Skip, how do you fix that? How do you get the guy that says all of a sudden, I need you to be better at blocking? Skip, you got what you got. Ain't nobody on the street. Because if the guy on the street that can help you, he'd be on the team helping somebody, you or someone else. I don't see it. Nick Foles has shown you, Skip. Now, you can talk about look, first of all, before I turn it over to you, Skip, if one of the 2 answers is A, Mitchell Trubisky, B, Nick Foles, you're asking a terrible question. That's all you need to know, Skip. If the answer is A, Trubisky, B, Foles, the question is bull jive.
Okay. So, my biggest takeaway from last night was if Nick Foles could play Tom Brady every game, he would lead the Bears to the Super Bowl.
I tweeted that, Skip. He only plays well and consistent against Brady.
So you plagiarized my tweet?
No, Skip, I tweeted that. Huh? You tweeted that too?
Yeah.
I did.
And apparently somebody told you that I tweeted it, and you said, well, I'll just...
I think mine went out first.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm sure mine went out first. Be that as it may, you have often called Nick Foles on this show, on live national TV, terrible.
Yeah.
And are you still sticking with terrible?
Yeah. Trubisky's had a better record than he has right now. Trubisky had lost a game. Your guy lost 2.
So Nick Foles in his career in the regular season has thrown 77 touchdown passes to only 41 interceptions. That's pretty great, actually. And in the postseason, he's thrown 11 touchdown passes to only 5 interceptions. That's pretty great, right?
2 to 1 is pretty good.
And I've called him many times on the show the Magic Man, because in the Philly locker room, especially in the second go-around, the year after he was the Super Bowl MVP, who was it? Kyle Long built a shrine to him. Chris Long, yeah. Kyle's at Chicago. Chris Long built a shrine to him in the locker room, which they all kneeled, bowed down and worshipped because
well, that's the beginning. That's what hurt my quarterback, Skip. They did that. That's what hurt my quarterback.
So last night on live national TV, Nick Foles found himself at the wrong place at the very worst time, because the Rams had just stunk it up against their arch rival at San Francisco. They fell behind in the second quarter, 21-6. And Aaron Donald called out the whole defense and said, we were soft, we didn't play with enough heart, all those things. He called them out.
Yes.
And he should have also called himself out, because in that game at San Francisco, he had 2 total tackles and 1 hit on the quarterback and no sacks. So it wasn't one of those Aaron Donald takes over the whole game kind of game.
But he said we. He said we. He didn't say y'all. He said we. And did you see him last night?
He was pretty good last night. Again, the stats never scream dominant. They never scream Reggie White. They never scream Lawrence Taylor.
Skip, the Pro Football Focus graded Aaron Donald said he had 10 quarterback pressures last night. He had 5 pass rush wins against double teams. That's the second time he's done that in this season. That's more than the entire NFL has combined. He's beating double team.
He had 3 tackles last night, a half a sack, and 1 hit on the quarterback. Okay, is he Khalil Mack? I don't think so.
Why? Hold on. You would take Khalil Mack over Aaron Donald?
Heck yes. He disrupts. He flies off that edge just savagely, and he brutalized Tom Brady in that game. Khalil Mack took the game over in the fourth quarter against Tampa Bay.
Skip, do you see this?
Aaron Donald can't rush the passer like Khalil Mack can.
Yeah, he can.
No.
And Skip, they said he got double teamed. He had 5 wins against double teams. That's the second time he's done that this year, more than the rest of the NFL combined.
So here they came with blood in their eyes for poor Nick Foles last night. Nick Foles is behind an offensive line that rivals the Cowboys for the worst in the league when it comes to pass blocking.
Eagle says, hold my beer.
Okay, well, it's somewhat, but they, you know what? They still block fairly well, given that they're all backups. They're coached better. I have no idea. But they perform better than the Cowboys or the Bears' offensive line. What does Nick Foles have to back him up in the run game? How about dead last in the NFL in rushing? How about that?
Yes.
How about even against the Bucs when Nick Foles prevailed? They had a grand total of 35 rush yards in that game, 2.5 per try.
Cohen got hurt. It hurt him.
Last night, they had 49 rush yards, 2.9 per try. That's a hard formula to protect the quarterback with and to win by.
Yes.
And then there was an incident during the game. Brian Greasy does a great job for ESPN, but he just blurts out on the air that in the production meeting, Nick Foles just flat out told him that there are some plays that get called that as soon as I hear the play call thinking it's going to be a 5-step drop or 7-step drop, a deeper drop, that I know I'm not going to have time to let that route finish and get the throw off.
Right.
Well, obviously, the head coach did not like that after the game, and Nick Foles had to backtrack on. But I believe he did say that to Brian Greasy, and that Brian just used it on the air because, hey, anything you say in a production meeting, it's fair game.
You got to be careful.
Hey, you're on the record. And I guess Nick, who seems like a really good guy, I assume he thought, I was talking to an ex-quarterback, and it was just kind of like, nope, it wasn't. Sorry.
He's an ex-quarterback that happens to be an analyst for TV.
Okay, so I'm going to throw out last night because he was under fire. I don't know how many times he's leaning backward, he's ducking. He's not the most mobile guy to start with. You got to give him a little bit of time, and he had next to no time.
Skip, he's good in a situation coming off the bench. They didn't prepare for him, or he can, 3 or 4 games. But what they're asking him to do is to take us the rest of the way. And we've only seen him do that one time when he had that historically great season, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Outside of that, we have not seen him over a long period of time sustain any level of success, not over a period of time.
But he can clutch it up in big games against great players.
Well, unfortunately, he needs to get him in the clutch situation, and he ain't did that.
All right, well, you guys were busy arguing over there. I did a full investigation here. Skip, you actually tweeted 21 minutes before Shannon about Nick Foles, so we're just going to settle it.
And then Shannon's scrolling. Somebody said, hey, how about this, Shannon? You're like,
you guys are on your phones too much. So many tweets from that table. Next up, should Washington linebacker John Bostic have been suspended for his helmet hit on Andy Dalton? It looked pretty bad. Don't go anywhere. We discuss after the break.